Hey everybody, it's me, Stu Helm, the Food Fan here at Food Fan Headquarters, and I just want to record a real short piece for you about a wonderful meal that I had just today. My mom and I went to a place called Sawhorse out there in West Asheville. It's on Leicester Highway, New Leicester, Old Leicester. Leicester. I can never keep it straight, but at least I know how to pronounce it, right? Leicester. I grew up near a town called Worcester, spelled like you don't even want to know. Anyways, we went on out to Sawhorse. It's one of our family favorites, and that's because my family is from up north. And up north, we eat a lot of great food. You know, we don't get a lot of credit for like northern cuisine or whatever, but up north, there's a lot of great food. And the folks at Sawhorse, they do like northern style food and food that's the flavors of the north. And I love that. It's particularly the flavors of like upper Great Lakes region of Michigan and parts of Canada. And my family is Canadian by, half my family lives up in Canada. And so I have a real fondness in my heart for Canada and Canadian things. And so my mom, who grew up going to Canada every summer to hang out with that side of the family, she loves Sawhorse. And so we went to get breakfast and lunch. I was in the mood for breakfast. My mom was getting lunch, and she got a nice apple salad. And I'm recording a series about salads, and maybe I'll talk about that. I didn't try it, but she enjoyed it very much. But she was openly envious of my meal. I had a serving of mushroom toast, and it was fantastically delicious. Like I took it came well, let me describe it. It had like a thick piece of brioche with some sauteed oyster mushrooms all over it and a really nice sauce. And then it had a poached egg on top and some greens. And some sauteed onions. And the onions were sauteed until they were just like falling apart practically. Like you could hardly even tell they were onions anymore. And they were freaking beautiful. I almost dropped a real F bomb. These sauteed onions were so great. And y'all know that I don't always eat onions because they give you a bad taste in your mouth for the rest of the day. But when you saute them until they're caramelized, that effect is lessened. It is not as great. And so this combination of these things, the brioche, the mushrooms, the onions, the sauce, and the egg was poached, and I cut it open, and it had a lot of green stuff on top and a lot of big pieces of fresh parsley that were great. And the whole thing was just delicious, like very, very savory to eat, to eat, of course, to eat, Stu. Listen to me, I'm sometimes I'm not that smart, I will admit that. So it was very savory, meaning it had a pretty high salt content, but it wasn't salty, and it also was very herby, herbaceous. I'm not sure if herbaceous works in this context, but it was fantastic. And so super high recommends for the mushroom toast at Sawhorse out on New Old King Lester Highway. I don't know nothing. I don't drive a car. My mom picks me up. I get in her car. We drive to this place. We talk the whole time. I'm not paying attention to nothing. Things are going past me. We were on Patton Ave for what seemed like forever. And then we were on this other Lester Highway thing. And then there's the Sawhorse. And I've been there a bunch. You'd think I could give you directions to it, but I can't because I don't, and I never will be able to. I'm sorry. I'm the worst person at directions. The other day, I'm not even kidding. Patty and I are walking down the street, and an elderly gentleman comes pulling up in a car right in front of us, and he rolls down the window and he goes, "How do you get to the hospital?" And I was like, "Oh my God," like Jiminy Crickets. And I was like, Patty, you're better at directions than I am. And he froze. Like Patty just froze and he couldn't do it. And I was like, "Oh my God, it's on me." I just told the gentleman we were on Patton Ave right downtown, not the highway out in West Asheville, but right downtown. I told him just drive until you get to the Vance Monument. It's no longer there. So I just said just drive until you get to Biltmore Ave, hang a right and drive on Biltmore, and you'll see the hospital looming in the distance, and just drive towards it. And that's the best I could do. Sorry, pal. I hope you made it, but dang, I was kind of counting on Patty. I've never driven to the hospital from downtown. I, I was, I did the best I could. I hope this gentleman got to the hospital on time. He seemed fine. I don't know. I hope he was just visiting a friend. Speaking of, I have a friend in the hospital, so I just want to say, I hope you're feeling okay, to my good friend Mike. All right, folks, that's it for this segment. I'll talk to you soon.